You know, in a massive city like Tokyo, you find these amazing pockets of contrast. But there's one place, Sumida City, where it feels like you're literally standing with one foot in the world of samurai and artisans and the other in the shadow of a futuristic tower. It's this incredible place where Tokyo's past and future collide on, like, every single street corner. So yeah, let's dive right in.
And boom, this right here, this is the core of Sumida's whole story. On one hand, you've got the soul of old Shitamachi, Tokyo, the low city of merchants and craftsmen, home to the legendary artist Hokusai. And then on the other, you have the Tokyo Skytree, this massive symbol of modern ambition that totally reshaped the area's destiny. It's this incredible push and pull, and that's exactly what we're going to unpack. Okay, so to really get a handle on Sumida, we got to go way back, to the beginning. We're going to start with its name, which is actually rooted in art, and then see how it became the absolute cultural heart of Old Tokyo, or, as it was called back then, Edo. There's a real poetry to the name itself. Sumi means ink, and da means field. So, ink field. How cool is that? And when they chose this name back in 1947, it wasn't just pulled out of a hat. No way. It was a very deliberate throwback to a classical name for the area, a real nod to its deep history of art and literature that just thrived along the river. And where did that name come from? Well, it all goes back to the Sumida River. The river is really the main character in this whole story. I mean, it's the constant thread running through everything. It gave the ward its name, its border, and for hundreds of years, its entire personality, It was this bustling highway for trade and the perfect backdrop for art and festivals.
Yeah, for centuries, Sumida pretty much was Shitamachi culture. This was the vibrant, low city. And that's not just about being geographically lower, it was the bustling, down-to-earth heart of everyday life. A totally different world from the fancy officials in their castles. The streets here were just packed with the energy of craftsmen, merchants, and samurai. It's the place where the legendary artist Hokusai made his masterpieces, where all these traditional crafts just flourished, and, get this, where sumo wrestling found its spiritual home. This was the real pulse of old Edo.
But you know how stories go. This vibrant culture was heading for a really dramatic and ultimately tragic shift. This district of artisans was about to transform into a massive industrial powerhouse. And that change, well, that change would end up making it a target.
So this timeline really gives you that quick, bird's-eye view of Sumida's wild journey. You start with its cultural peak in the Edo period, right? Then it takes this hard turn into industry during the Meiji era. That industrial boom led straight to the absolute catastrophe of 1945. And then, after all that, comes this incredible sky-high rebirth in 2012. March 10th, 1945. On this single day, everything changed. I mean, the very things that gave Sumida its unique character, all those tightly packed little factories and traditional wooden houses, that's what made it so vulnerable. The firebombing that night was just relentless.
And the human cost, it's just staggering to think about. In just one night, tens of thousands of people lost their lives. That vibrant Shitamachi culture we were just talking about, it was almost completely wiped off the map. The entire ward was just obliterated, reduced to ash. It was, without a doubt, Sumida's darkest hour. But from those very ashes, a whole new story begins. And this new story revolves around a single, unbelievably ambitious structure. A building that wouldn't just rebuild Sumida, but would completely redefine it for the 21st century.
I mean, look at this thing. At 634 meters, the Tokyo Skytree isn't just tall, it is the tallest tower in the world. When it was finished in 2012, it was so much more than just an amazing piece of engineering. It was this powerful statement of renewal. It was the thing that kicked off Sumida's modern comeback.
And this one project created this huge ripple effect, what some people call the Skytree effect. It didn't just bring life back to a quiet working-class area, no. It became its #1 economic driver. It brought in tons of new businesses, shops, restaurants, and it completely transformed the ward from this local manufacturing spot into a global tourist hub, a must-see destination for people from all over the world. And you can actually see the impact in the numbers. I mean, look at this. For years, Sumida's population was shrinking. People were moving away. But then, check out what happens after 2012. That change is just dramatic. The redevelopment, the new stuff to do, all the new excitement from the Skytree, it completely flipped that trend on its head, bringing new people and new energy right back into the area. Okay, but here's what I think is the most fascinating part of this whole story. The new modern Sumida didn't just pave over the old one. Not at all.
Instead, those old Shitamachi traditions are alive and well, living and breathing right next to these new modern icons. It's created this completely unique kind of city landscape you just don't see anywhere else.
And this is what it actually looks like on the ground. You've got the spiritual home of Sumo, the Ryogoku Stadium, and it's just a short walk from the Skytree. You've got these tiny, family-run workshops making traditional cut glass in the same neighborhood as the stunningly modern Hokusai Museum. It's all right there, existing together.
The best part is you can actually experience this mix for yourself. I mean, you could go watch a grand sumo tournament in the morning and then be at the top of the Skytree that same afternoon. You can go see Hokusai's Great Wave in a museum and then hop on a futuristic water bus and cruise past the famously weird golden flame of the Asahi Beer Hall. It's just a place packed with these incredible, one-of-a-kind experiences.
I think this quote really nails it. Sumida is where you can feel the pulse of old Edo and the ambition of modern Tokyo, often on the very same street. It's not about choosing one or the other. In Sumida, you really get both. You can feel that quiet old city rhythm, and then, just around the corner, you feel this powerful modern ambition.
So, when you look at the whole story, it kind of leaves us with this bigger question, right? It's a question that cities all over the world are trying to figure out. How do you move forward? How do you innovate and grow without just losing the soul that made you special in the first place? Well, in Sumida, it feels like the answer is right there, written in its streets, its skyline, and its spirit.